The next question, which is about street-based developments, and it's in the hands of Assembly Member Boff.
Yes, Andrew, I am in favour of street-based developments where possible. Though I think, as you and I discussed the other day, there are some interesting problems raised sometimes by street-based development. But generally, you can achieve wonderful things. If you look at what we're doing in the Olympic Park area, there will be. It will look like the best of London, terraces, squares, in the new London vernacular. I think it will look fantastic.
Yes, obviously, well, you know my view on the Olympic Park, that it will actually contain the best and the worst of design.
I appreciate that.
But that, I suppose, you're acquainted with my view on that. There are some requirements in the London plan that actually make it quite difficult to provide street-based developments. Would you support a review of the London plan to see what gets in the way of providing street-based developments?
Yes. I mean, it's one of the things I think people need to focus on here is that we do want street-based. It would be wonderful to have a return to the Georgian terraces or the even 5-6-storey structures such as you find in Pimlico, perhaps even 7 stories. One of the difficulties, of course, is that within the London plan there's a stipulation that any building above 3 stories must have a lift. Now, we could take that out and say that you didn't have to have a lift until you were at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 stories. The trouble is that I think we've got to the stage now where people would find that suddenly a restriction on the accessibility of the building. And people would say, are you really seriously going to take lifts away when we have so many elderly people, so many disabled, and so on and so forth? So I think if walk-ups, which are so attractive, are limited in their flexibility. And that is one of the problems that we face. And if you put in a lift for a building of sort of 4, 5, 6 stories, people will say, well, why? Why? What's the economics of it won't add up. You'll be spending an awful lot on the core and on the shaft of the lift, and not actually maximising the potential habitation in the building. So there is a the Create Streets agenda is slightly in conflict with the general acceptance now of the need to provide disabled access and access for the elderly, and indeed for buggies and all the rest of it.
Thank you. I mean, that was a good summary of, in general, why sometimes a street-based development may not be suitable. Let's talk about specifics. Would you be supportive of developers having to provide an excuse in a reason in their application why a street-based development is not possible in that particular instance?
Yes, I think that's. I mean, I think
that's another.
That's the sort. I mean, what they tend to do is to explain why the p-tau ratio or whatever it happens to be necessitates a certain approach.
You've been so much more cooperative than even I imagined you were going to be.
No, I'm a huge fan of.
Just for the record, Chair, we've now got two yeses.
I thank you for your continuing. When I look around, the things that are being built now, I think a lot of them look absolutely fantastic. I really do. And I know this is not everybody agree. I think there's a growing use of brick in a beautiful way. People are using brick. There's the style of built. It's 21st century. It's not. We're not trying to redo Georgian terraces again, but they have something of that spirit. Yeah. And I think the designs that people are coming up with, sort of organically, people have settled on a new London vernacular, and it's something that I think we should support, and perhaps we should give some extra push behind.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I invite you, therefore, I think you've been actually, to come down to Galleons Drive on Barking Riverside and look at the sweep of the terraced houses there. And it looks like a new Bath, without trying to pretend to be Bath, if you know what I mean. And very high quality developments, and I do invite you to come down.
Chelsea Barracks won't be quite the same.
But
Right.
thank you very much. Fantastic.
Are we there? I will move on to the next question, which